Shut up and sit down.
Hello and welcome to the Dunning-Kruger Effect, the podcast where we know just enough to be dangerous. I'm Keith, and with us we have Tim, Scott, Troy, and Rob. So essentially a full house tonight, which was different than last time, which was just me and Tim.
Pretty awkward. Not gonna.
And I'm sorry
you
about
had
that.
two of you last week?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so sorry, Tim.
you had to go. You had to go nunchuck.
So sorry.
It was a good. I thought it was actually a pretty good episode. Actually,
It was fun. We had to edit out a lot of the sexual tension, but that's just
So
life.
basically, it was like 2 minutes.
well, when I'm around, yes. I do
Longest
that.
2 minutes of Keith's life.
So what I don't understand is you keep using the word episodes as if these are going to appear anywhere.
Well, there's four of them. There's four of them done. So now we have
Right.
to figure out whether we're just going to go on our own channel or whether we're going to piggyback on Tim's channel.
Piggyback on mine. It's cheaper, and we can cross promote that way.
He just wants control. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Control.
This is the takeover.
Well, I would just add it to the other podcasts I'm doing. So I've got like 2 other podcasts. It's a crazy amount. It's almost to the point where I'm considering just making my own hosting service. It would actually be cheaper at this point.
So Tim's going into business for himself. He's quitting his job.
Hosting
Good
service.
to know if you just put in notice.
Just for my own podcast.
So when this podcast appears on a year from now, somewhere, that'll be notice at that point. So this is you giving notice a year from now. But don't worry, you're not giving notice right now because no one's going to hear this until 2022.
Well, so far the episodes are all done. I have an opening and a closing track for each one of them.
Ooh.
And it's I don't know, it sounds pretty good, I guess. I've done a lot of I've had to edit things and change certain pitch levels. Some people are quiet and some people are really loud and some people are right in the middle, so I've had to adjust all that, being all cool and stuff.
No, you can't tell based on the way your fingers formatted. When you said very loud, I would immediately. Well, we all know where I looked.
I know. I accept it.
So how's everybody doing?
Can't complain.
I could complain, but I won't.
I made some money on BlackBerry.
Did you now?
I did.
And AMC? Yeah.
No, I already owned BlackBerry stock was a thing, so I didn't make much. I made like $60, but I was like, I bailed. I'm like, no, forget this. I don't want to ride this one out.
You made your
I bailed right at the right time. Though,
Yeah,
so.
but did you invest in GameStop?
No.
I was going to say, how will GameStop? Anybody jump
But
on
BlackBerry's
that
one of
bandwagon?
BlackBerry's one of the other ones is being
Yeah.
BlackBerry
being
was.
targeted.
I would have jumped on GameStop, but I don't have a investment portfolio open right now. So
Or Robinhood, I guess, stopped sale.
yep.
Stopped buying.
Stop today,
You can
yeah.
sell, but you can't buy.
What's interesting though is the major stakeholder that's losing all their money in GameStop is Capital, and Capital owns Robinhood.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, so that might have something to do with it.
I thought it was Capital was buying how to give the $1 billion investment to the other company that was the major hedge.
No, they own like 40%.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that explains Robinhood, but what about TD Ameritrade? Because they also stopped trading.
Yeah, a lot of them did. A lot of the
A lot of them
There
stopped.
was concern of further damage, I think, is why
Yeah.
everybody's stopping.
There's also people talking about that they're automatically selling their stocks now too, because their portfolio is deemed at risk or something, which seems a little
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
So they're auto dropping their stocks for them?
they are at the lowest peak too.
Oh, good. Coincidence.
Of course.
Yeah,
Oh man. No, it's just absolutely crazy. Just kind of watching it. Like a buddy of mine messaged me on our Discord server. He's like, "Hey, are you looking at GameStop?" Like, wait, what? So I looking at the stocks. I was like, "Holy crap, this is crazy!" Like, yeah, buy Nokia. I'm like, okay, so I bought Nokia. So you remember the money I made off of BlackBerry? I just lost it on Nokia, so I broke even.
Welcome to gambling, Tim.
Yeah. Casino capitalism at its best. That's
I don't think GameStop would have done as well as it did if Elon Musk didn't tweet about it. I think that's really what drove the nail home.
Well,
good old Elon.
It's been all over Reddit though as well. They've been trying because they're trying to screw over the one hedge fund company. They're just like, buy it, keep buying it, keep buying it, and so it's Reddit that's been forcing. Reddit has a lot of power in the way that it can sway markets, the way that it can sway corporations and stuff like that.
Well, now it does. It's the collective action, right? Collective action. That's what it is. And like it's fascinating how like this whole story is fascinating. I've actually been like,
well, why don't you go over the story?
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'll
people
do
who don't know,
do a recap.
Yeah, Dunning-Kruger
version of the story. So a year from now, when this is over and GameStop has crashed the economy, this will seem quaint.
Of all the things that were going to crash the economy, GameStop. I mean,
the gamers said they were going to take over.
Basically, and I'm sure you guys can chime in.
Nobody believes them.
When I get a detail wrong, chime in.
Okay.
My understanding is that there was a hedge fund that was shorting a stock particularly hardcore. Like it was 175% or something like that. Like it was ridiculous. They were basically killing the company, essentially. And this group of Reddit people on Wall Street bets, Reddit are like, fuck this. They don't care about GameStop, I don't think, but they just through memes and through sharing of information, just basically started shorts. What's the opposite of short? When they're not short stopping.
Long stock.
No, there's a term for.
They're creating a short squeeze.
Yeah.
Short squeeze.
Yeah, short squeeze.
Short squeeze. Yeah. They're doing the short squeeze on it. So yeah.
So what? Stuff. Not to steal from your story too, but
please
what you're forgetting is that Wall Street Bets is actually doing this in a reaction to a tweet made by Melvin Capital, right? Which was outlining that making money is easy on the market, and he went on and on and on to say how easy it is, and then used like examples of short squeezes and said, for example, with like this stock, we're definitely not using a short squeeze, and he kept saying stuff like, we're not using a short squeeze in this, and like it's pretty freaking obvious that they were doing a short squeeze on it. Mm-hmm. So Wall Street Bets is, it's all retail investors. So they saw that and they wanted to take a bite out of them. So someone started a movement. And then that movement got driven further by one guy. There's a user on there that I won't name directly that dropped like 54K on it. And he's now up to 48 mil on his profile.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... That I can get behind that kind of activism.
It's activism that pays.
It's activism and like, yeah, it's great. I like it, but I think it's just
awesome. It's great.
It's activism that pays.
Yeah.
Unless you don't get out quick enough.
Right, because this bubble will burst.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Eventually it'll hit the ceiling, and it'll drop drastically.
Well, because what does the company actually appreciate that? Like, that's definitely not worth $1.2 billion, whatever they're saying. It's
half these companies aren't worth what they post on Wall Street. I mean, just like GameStop is like the most egregious example right now. But do we really think Tesla's worth more than every other car company in the world combined?
Well, I love one thing I was watching about it. I can't remember who I got this from. I'm stealing though. Their analogy is the stock market is basically a graph chart of rich people's mood. That's all. That's which I.
Well, and that's the thing. It is, but I was reading an article a couple of months ago about how it definitely was that, but now it's actually changing to the fact that a lot of investors, especially larger investors, don't like this pandemic going on. Not for the fact that it's a pandemic or any of that stuff. It's more for the fact that a lot more independent mom and pop investors have come in to just dabble in the stock market.
People are at home with nothing to do.
So they're like, I'll put
large stimulus checks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll take that $600. Give me money.
Yeah, I'll put some money in here and I'll put some money in there. But because people are going in and out of stock so quickly, they'll pick up a stock, it gains like a half a point, they immediately drop the stock type of thing instead of waiting for it. It's hard to forecast or future forecast what that stock's going to be. So it's harder for these investment companies.
Isn't that the problem with hedging in general? That's the thing with hedge markets in general.
Yeah.
Is that
will somebody
hedge against it? Yeah.
Please think about those poor MBAs at the hedge firms.
They won't be able to buy their fourth yacht this year.
Like people would say, people are like saying
poverty right there.
Yeah, people are saying hedging and shorting on the marketplace is like a natural. It is as good as some people think because it has it naturally corrects the market, right? Okay, that's fine. But when you short at this level, though, that's kind of nuts. When you're basically just driving a company out of business, essentially, just so you can make a
point.
Short selling is nothing more than exploiting a loophole. That's really all it is. Somebody figured out at one point, hey, if I borrow stock, then I sell what I borrowed and then buy it back at this price, I'll make it. It's sort of like the plot of The Producers, where if you borrow more money, then you need to put on a play and the play is a flop, then you get to keep the profit. It's basically that, except investing. But it's like this has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with the value of the company. It has nothing to do with the effort. It has nothing to do with the work. It's literally just people exploiting a loophole, and it's been cracked so wide open right now that I really hope I hope this illustrates with this example with r/Wall Street Bets that maybe short selling should be a little bit more regulated.
But it won't. It won't because
they make the rules. Not
you watch that CNBC host. I'm sure you guys all saw it because you guys have been obviously following it as much as I have. You see that one CNBC host is talking about normally I'm against regulation, but someone should really come in and regulate this. And I'm like, well, motherfucker, come on! Like it's okay when your buddies are doing it, but when a bunch of the poors are getting together. And
the common folk have caught on to our game.
And fucking Robin Hood.
Calvin Clay of the New West.
There's actually an open lawsuit against Robin Hood right now.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that a few minutes ago. And Robin Hood, whose whole raison d'etre is to be like democratizing finance. I guess that's been exposed as a lie. Like that's just like kind of
shocking. A company lied to us to make money. Never would have saw that coming.
Fucking nuts.
Speaking of which, hey Keith, how's Cyberpunk? And how are you still playing that game?
How? What do you mean how?
Does it work?
With your fingers?
Yeah, it works fine. I have I've had a couple of crashes here and there.
An old Xbox?
Yeah.
Oh God, I was getting motion sickness. The frame rate would go so bad.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe your TV sucks. I played on a 4K.
Yeah, me and every other person who bought it,
I played on a 4K.
Not better.
I don't seem to have any issue with it. I don't know. My
TV would make it worse, not better. If you're talking about frame rate, right?
Well, it depends on what frame rate it's running at and what your TV's running at as well. If they're offset frame rates or it's trying to run a frame rate that your TV can't do, you're going to drop frames.
Well, this is just an important lesson in why you never pre-order games. I mean, you can buy it the same day and get a digital download. They're like, why
that's the problem. If I bought it the same day.
Okay. I always wait a month or two because let's just say I'm a little tired of being a beta tester for all these companies now.
You're gonna continue being that though. That's the thing. Nowadays, that's the way it is. It's play beta. You're an alpha tester pretty much.
Everyone wants instant gratification, so they want their games immediately.
Yeah. But with Cyberpunk, it's my only. Every once in a while, it will kind of chug when there's a lot of stuff on screen. like a lot of things going on the screen. But